We want to file bankruptcy before divorce, but that's not always the case. So what we're going to discuss, like I said, is the advantages and disadvantages of filing bankruptcy before, during, and after the divorce proceedings. So what we're going to focus on first is, of course, before. So you're staring at a bad financial situation. You're looking at divorce. You're looking at bankruptcy. Probably the biggest reason I'd recommend filing the bankruptcy before the divorce is you only got to pay for one bankruptcy filing. If you do it afterwards, you got to pay for two. You do it beforehand, you only have one. One attorney's fees, one filing fee. Now, for most people, whether you're filing individually or filing together as a joint couple, the cost is going to be the same. As an attorney, I have very rarely, in fact, I don't think I've ever charged a married couple more just because they are married than a single person. You're going to have the same amount of assets, you're going to have the same amount of debts typically, or the number of debts is not enough that it's going to make a difference in the price. Another advantage to filing the bankruptcy before the divorce is in the bankruptcy, you have to list all your assets and debts. In a divorce, you have to list all your assets and debts. Well, if you list all your assets in the bankruptcy, you can turn around and use that same information for the divorce case and probably make your divorce matter a little cheaper. The same thing with the debts. If you clear up your debts in the bankruptcy, now you're not fighting over who's taking what debts in the divorce. Another advantage to filing the bankruptcy before the divorce is if your divorce is being caused by money problems, well, if you happen to eliminate those in the bankruptcy, maybe after you've taken care of that money situation, you're not fighting so much with your spouse so much, you don't want to necessarily kick them out of the house anymore, maybe you have a better chance of resolving things. Money problems is a leading cause of divorce. You can ask any divorce attorney. Maybe if you clear those up, you have a chance of reconciling. I'm not saying go into the bankruptcy with the hope you're going to save your marriage, but it's a possibility. And as somebody who's been married for 10 years, I would encourage you to try to stay married because it's going to be a lot cheaper than getting divorced. However, while there are advantages to filing bankruptcy before divorce, there are some disadvantages. The first is you only do get one set of exemptions when you're married. For some people, it may actually be better to file afterwards because then you may be able to double up on your exemptions. A second problem with filing the bankruptcy before the divorce, well, the bankruptcy is going to be another 3 to 4 months, and if you really can't stand that person anymore and it's just a bad breakup that you can't deal with that person, when you're in the bankruptcy with that person, you're going to have to deal with them a little bit. You will have to have some communication. You're going to have to see them in court at least once. So you will have to deal with your ex. Hopefully it's not that bad of a situation. You at least can be civil, especially if there's children involved, of course. But you do want to be civil with this person. If you can sit there and talk with them, get through the bankruptcy, save yourself that money, even if you're still going to go through the divorce, get through the bankruptcy. But if you can't stand this person, sorry, the bankruptcy is going to cause you to be with them, so that would be a disadvantage. Another disadvantage is if you're going to file beforehand and only one of you wants to file bankruptcy, you will need a spousal waiver from the person who does not want to file. And if it's a bad divorce and your spouse or soon-to-be ex-spouse will not sign the bankruptcy waiver, that locks you into the 704 exemptions, which is the exemptions we use to exempt the house. So if you have a lot of other assets like cars, cash, and a tax refund, you really need that spousal waiver. And if you can't get that, then you're going to have to wait till after the divorce to file the bankruptcy. So if you have any questions about this or any other topics about bankruptcy, feel free to give me a call at 559-274-2868. And next week we'll talk about doing the bankruptcy after the divorce. Thank you.